السلام عليكم. كله تمام، كله تمام. الصوت واضح. مم. نقول بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. نبدأ لعبة فامباير. صراحة وقفنا شوي عنها، الحين نرجع نكمل تختيم السلسلة. ويلكم بالأعضاء الجدد والفلور. بسم الله، خنشوف ايش اخر ما وقفنا عليه في هذه اللعبة الرهيبة. طيب، عندنا ميت ليدي امبري. البث اللي راح صراحة كان بس مجنون، تخانق مع اخته، شيء كان غير متوقع. نشوف العالم هذا اللي ماتوا بسبتي. هنا في مكان ما فتحته لسه. هنا في ناس. اوكي، ريكفرينج. هذا شحته عنده هدك، عنده برد، يعني تقريبا الحمد لله هذولا سليمين. الوضع هنا بدأ يكون ستيبل. يبغالي ارفع زيادة للمواطنين اللي في المينا. هنا اللي في المستشفى شوي، يعني يبغالي اعالج هذول خلاص الله يرحمهم مرة. عندنا هذه الاشياء: هولي كروست، كراشد. مساء النور والسرور، حياكم الله جميعا. دقيقة بس نضبط الصوت. واضح عندكم؟ الصوت واضح؟ تأكد من الصوت، أعطوني خبر عن الصوت رجاء. نقول بسم الله. جو تو ليدي بطاطس. بنروح ان شاء الله نكمل هذا البث اللي نبداه الحين الساعة 2:15 ان شاء الله. نحن يعني ما نطول، خليه ساعة ونص زي العادة او ساعتين بالكثير. اللي حاب يتابع لعبة فامباير، اللي يعرف اللعبة من قبل ويتابعها، اللعبة صراحة مرة حلوة وقصتها مرة حلوة، كلها ألغاز وفي ألغاز. واللي ما يعرف اللعبة يبغى يتابعها، الفيديوهات موجودة على قناة اليوتيوب، تقدر تتابع هناك. يلا بسم الله. احنا قلنا بنروح المنطقة ذيك. انا وين دخلت الحين؟ هل هذا الهيد اوت اللي كنت فيه ولا ايش؟ اتوقع الهيد اوت. العالم ميتة. نعدل لكم الكام هنا المصر ما تكون عكس انعكاس. حي الله من يانا. طيب هيك صح؟ يبغالي اشوف حل بس للشات. اشوف حل للشات. يلا بسم الله. نطلع بس. ما في شيء صح؟ اخذناها قبل لا ننام. نطلع ونروح المدينة. ما نروح عند الدكتور، الدكتور الأساسي حقنا ذاك، عشان نشوف بعد وش عنده. يلا كمان. مرة طول. يلا. نروح في طريق على اليمين من طريق المستشفى، وفي طريق على اليسار. ايش نختار؟ والله الطريق اللي على اليمين كنا مقفل. راح نشوف، نحب نحوس صراحة. شوت جن هو يطلق. ايش عندهم هنا؟ جميل. اكيد وراهم بلا. ها ايوه، فتش هنا. مسامير، مسامير كلها تنفع للكرافتنج. اوكي، انا احب ادور تحت قبل اطلع فوق. ما نفتش تحت في اي شيء ثاني. اوكي، بوتل في الالكحول. في واحد برا 22. نطلع فوق إلى الأعلى. اوكي، في واحد. أنا ما أدري هنا. إيه، هذا قاعد يفتش ولا إيش؟ مع إني أنا قويت قوة البايت، بس ما أشوف يعني قوة مرة يعني. report about Pembroke for 2 weeks now and you can confirm by activity here. يتكلمون عن الفامباير، عاملين ريبورت انهم وجود نشاط للفامباير في المنطقة. ما يهمني لان انا اللي مسوي النشاط. ايش فيه هنا؟ كني شفت شيء صح؟ اوكي، اتوقع ما في اي شيء ثاني. اتوقع ما في اي شيء ثاني. خلنا ننزل تحت. طريق واحد. هنا مقفل. انا مقفل. ما في اي طريق من فوق، ما في اي طريق من فوق، فمنطقة مقفلة هذه، ف ما نقدر نعبر. البزر لسه يصيح، البزر لسه يصيح والصياحة ازعجنا. انا ماني عارف وين بوصل معهم هذول، كل ما ارفع كل ما يرتفعون.
This is no place for a gentleman.
Fancy clothes? This one's a top. It's on. It's on.
هذا راح قنبلة ولا ايش؟ ضيعونا مع الفايت، ما في شيء. نطلع فوق، نطلع فوق. يعني اطلق. وراه صار قوي ذا. خلاص يبا، خلاص يبا، خلاص. أذية صح؟ يا البزير ذا، وش الجسد ذي؟ اوف اوف، لا المناظر ما تسركم. اهم شيء طريقنا صح. اوكي، يبغانا نروح اول لفة يمين، اول لفة يمين، اول لفة يسار، يمين، لخبطوني. مشدع صغير، والله اكبر. ظاهر هنا صح؟ ايه هنا. وينه؟ والله لازم اقابله يعني. انا كأني جيت من هنا قبل. اخرج البيت اللي فيه مدري وين. لا 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 لا. ضرباتها جامدة، حيل جامد. مين هذا؟ اوكي ترى اورايت، مرة ثانية. يلا نحاول مرة ثانية. وين ودوني؟ اوه، شيء انا ما احبه يا اخي، انه يرجعونك ورا. ليش؟ لا المشكلة رجعت ورا. وما يزودون الدم. يعني كأن الموضوع عادي عندهم. اوكي هذا لازم. لا انا رحت المستشفى. تروح نروح مع طريق المستشفى. ده من الطريق الأسلم. نروح ليلة. شوف العالم سير عليها. هذا ما أدري عندي علاج الهيدك ولا أسوي له علاج هيدك.
Dr. Reed, any good news to share?
Do you need any medical assistance yourself, Doctor?
Yes, indeed. But don't worry, I am perfectly capable of taking care of myself.
رجال دكتور والله ما عندي والله. ليش؟ ما عندي.
I will see you later.
ظاهر إني
Goodbye, Dr. Tibbets.
طب خلني أروح الغرفة أحاول أسوي له علاج. إن شاء الله إنه يكون متوفر عندي. شورت كات. هدك وين هدك هذا صح؟ ما عندي والله. يبغالي مادة اسمها إرجوتيماين. المشكلة هذيك اللي تجيب الأدوية ذبحناها. هذا وش فيه ملقلق ولا إيش؟ حياكم الله كل اللي جايين يتابعونا.
Stupid beast! Hate leeches!
هم قاعد يطقون واحد أنا مالي شغل فيه.
In this letter, Mortimer Goswick does nothing to hide his desire to die. I could give it to his mother, but doing so would betray his trust.
هذا اللتر اللي قال لي جيبها. اوكي جود والله. شيء حلو شيء طيب احنا حصلناها. اوكي. يقول عشان امه ما تشوفه انه كان بينتحر.
It's locked.
كيف افتحه؟ اذبحه؟ الذبح صار سالفة. وش اللي يعني؟ هذا حق الهيدك. إرجوتيماين. اتوقع هنا اقدر اسوي شيء صح؟ كاني شايف طاولة كرافت. ايوه هيدك. راح نعطيه الدكتور عشان ما نجي بعيد لان احنا ناقصين انه يموت. يطلع على برا. في شيء ثاني؟ ناس تذبح تحت. طيب بس نروح الدكتور نعطيه العلاج. طيبين شوي ولا وش رايكم؟ طيبة زينة. هذا عنده برد. يلا تعال يا دكتور.
The patients are not fools.
موت علينا بعد.
Good evening, Dr. Tibbets.
Dr. Reed, any good news to share?
Do you need any medical assistance yourself, Doctor?
Yes, indeed. But don't worry, I am perfectly capable of taking care of myself.
I have no doubt about it, but you are still ill all the
أحلى شيء
same.
نعالجه.
Please, take this medicine.
I appreciate your concern, Dr. Reed. To be honest, I just did not take the time to diagnose myself.
ليش ما جبته؟ اوكي خلينا على هنا احسن عشان نقدر نشوف الشات مظبوط. طيب
Goodbye, Dr. Tibbets.
الحين خلينا نرجع هناك. اللي تحت ذا ما اعتقد عندي علاج للبرد. كولد ما اعتقد صح؟ الا والله عندي حق كولد. خلنا نروح نعالجه مساكين. بس وين شفناه؟ صاير طيب انا. بعد قبل كم يوم قاعد افكر اني امسح العالم كلها. لا مو هذول.
Sorry, sir. No admittance.
وينه؟ جيت مع طريق ثاني. طيب دام اني وصلت هنا خليني اروح اخلص الكويست. ايوه الشيطان مرة ثانية. الله يستر الله يستر. ايش بيقول لي الحين؟ خليني اروح يسار. اشوف شكله كذا والله هيبة صراحة. اوكي يلا سبيك.
You must prepare, child, for the earth is bleeding and the harvest is upon us.
Stay away, whoever you are.
This is no time for petty quarrels, my champion. Can you not hear? The famished queen has awoken.
اوف اطرده ولا خليه ساكت ولا ايش رايكم؟ ولا اقول I'm not your champion go away. كلها عموما اجوبة سلبية.
I am not your champion.
But of course you are, son.
هو
As
بالغصب
surely
الا
as you are
بيخليني
the
شيء.
blood of
ما
my
أدري.
blood.
I had to kill Mary.
I have known your pain, child. Do not succumb to.
Silence! I dismiss you now!
The land calls for a champion. All and everyone needs you.
Silence!
اوكي اختفى.
Tired of all these puppet shows.
اي والله بابت شوز ما عنده الا القرقة الفاضية. اوكي خلينا نواصل رحلة البحث. يا ساتر مين هذا؟ والله ماني ناقص هواش ولا مشاكل. السالفة.
They want war. I'll show them war.
Whatever this poor woman did, nobody deserves this kind of punishment.
طب يا اخي بدخل. ايش ذولا؟ يقول لك اتبع الليد على اليسار. ايش صار في الدنيا يا عالم؟ اوكي اوكي في 1.23. اوكي لازم نذبحهم. في شيء غلط. هذاك معلق ولا ايش؟ يا اخي لا ترشني الله يجزاك. يا اخي لا ترش لا ترش. هذا ايش الحين؟ ها معلق ذا ولا معلق تصدقون؟ مسكين معلق ما قال لا هذا يذبحهم ولا يذبحهم. ريزيست ها؟ قعد عندك سيف مو عشان عندك سيف تايط. عندي سبرينج هذه خلاص السبرينج. انا على بالي شيء الحين بينتقم حالته حاله. والله طلع ما عنده سالفه. طيب طريقنا بس طريقنا صح. روح يسار. الله يستر الله يستر من اللي جاي.
So this is where she lives. What a splendid house.
جاهزين الاكشن؟ انا ما ادري وش الاكشن اللي راح يجي لكن الله يستر.
Dr. Reed, welcome. How are you?
As good as one can be, considering the circumstances.
Yes. Death and affliction seem prevailing themes of late. Please, come in. We have much to discuss.
I hope I haven't disturbed you.
Not at all. Actually, I was counting on you visiting me tonight.
How strange, this painting. Beautiful, melancholic, yet with a haunting dignity.
Indeed. A long time ago, a friend asked me to paint this for him. But I kept it in the end.
I did not know you were a painter, my lady.
There are many things you do not know about me, young Ekon.
اوكي. اطيح الميانة معها ولا اقول لها وقفي مسخرة عني ولا خليني اطيح الميانة معها.
Please, call me Jonathan.
Please excuse my behavior, Jonathan. I tend to tease my friends when uneasy.
What is bothering you, my lady? Your letter was quite alarming.
We will talk about this in a few minutes. For now, I would like you to tell me about yourself. How have you been since we last met, my friend?
My sister Mary, she was made a vampire in the same way I was. She was the one killing all those people everywhere I went.
Vengeance is a powerful force for those betrayed. Made vampire through careless error. Victims by surprise.
In the end, she implored me to put an end to her misery. But still, I felt I had taken her life twice.
I am so sorry for my accidental cruelty. Had I known your dear Mary was still alive, I would never have sent you to pray for her soul in that church.
There is no need to apologize, my lady. Your words have been most helpful in these difficult times.
Thank you, my friend. If only we could have guided your poor sister through her terrible nightmare.
I swear I did not intend that. If only I had known then how vampires are created.
That is the scientist speaking. In truth, most of us do not know how it really works. Personally, I make sure my prey will not return to haunt me.
What do you mean?
I am merciless, Jonathan. I only feed on the dying, and I make sure they are dead before leaving their remains.
I think I should ask the questions, your ladyship. After all, it was you who invited me to settle this most urgent of matters.
Fair enough, Jonathan. The situation is critical. We do not have the luxury for etiquette.
Please do not misunderstand me. I would be delighted to discuss mundane matters and idle trivialities.
If we survive the dark nights to come, we shall have all the time in the world to speak, you and I. For now, please follow me, Jonathan.
اوكي.
I must say, your house is exquisite.
One of the advantages of living forever is having the time to be selective with one's furnishings. I took the liberty of having tea served.
You can still drink tea.
Can't keep it down, but I do so enjoy the aroma. Let us toast to make-believe. And of course to your health, Jonathan.
And to yours, my lady.
Please, call me Elizabeth.
الميانة خلاص.
So, my lady, why truly did you invite me here?
I've been asked to deliver an official invitation to meet the Ascalon Club.
طيب.
Who are they? Really?
They are the embodiment of vampire law in Britain. Some say they influence the destiny of the Empire. Some believe they merely protect it.
How many are they?
Only a small number of powerful and deceitful immortals. All of them entangled in a sticky web of shadow cabinets, influencing trade.
Will they fight the Guard of Priwen?
I doubt it. Fergal was Lord Redgrave's executioner forever and a day. By defeating that beast, you deprived them of a powerful weapon.
Why use you to contact me?
Because they know we are close. The Ascalon Club has many spies. Their main occupation is gathering information and then deciding how to use it.
Have they threatened you in any way?
Not at all. Their message surprised me at first. But it is only logical, considering the critical situation in London.
Why not ask for your help? Since you are obviously a powerful and influential immortal yourself.
You have to understand that I am invisible to the eyes of Ascalon, for I am a woman. That suits me well, as long as they leave me alone.
Should I trust them?
Of course not. Do not misunderstand me. They can be very useful, but I believe their long-term goals differ from yours.
Why meet them then?
Because nothing truly important can be achieved in this city without their consent. They could be powerful allies in this current situation.
Should I lie to them?
We all lie, Jonathan. It falls to you to choose your behavior. The most important rule is to show them due respect.
They have done nothing but impede my investigations since I became known to them. Why would they want to see me now?
I guess they now see you as Ascalon material. They must have found out what happened to your sister. Proof of the potent blood flowing through your veins.
I'm not sure I can accept their invitation. I have seen their handiwork. How Fergal the Beast imposed the club's law.
You have no choice, Jonathan. Even I would not openly defy Lord Redgrave, the chairman of the Ascalon Club.
If you are convinced I must meet him, I will heed your advice.
Thank you, Jonathan. I understand your reluctance to brush shoulders with London's vampire elite. But we have no choice.
Is the situation that critical?
Yes. The Guard of Priwen has called for a second great hunt of our kind. And they will stop at nothing to eliminate us.
Will the Guard of Priwen and the Ascalon Club fight each other?
I doubt it. If Priwen really launched a great hunt, I think most of the Ekons I know would flee the country to escape the bloodbath.
I think I saw them kill an Ekon on the way to your house. They seem to have a list with names.
To launch another great hunt, they must have collected intelligence on vampire identities and whereabouts. They are a resourceful lot.
Should we fight back? I will not be hunted down like an animal again.
I admire your courage, Jonathan. But the best way to fight them is to put an end to the epidemic. This is the only way to clear the air.
What is a great hunt?
The first great hunt was launched about 75 years ago. In just a few nights, the Guard of Priwen located and destroyed most of the old British vampires.
Why start a second one?
Priwen has always seen us immortals as a threat to mankind. My guess is they suspect one or more of us is the cause of the epidemic.
How did you survive the first hunt?
I fled, Jonathan. Like most vampires who survived that slaughter. And I secretly came back when I was sure they had lost my trail.
You should flee then. Leave London, the country even. I have seen the Guard in action. They are merciless.
Your concern warms my heart, Jonathan. But fear not. If the situation gets too dangerous, I shall retreat to my secret Scottish manor. I could hide you in my luggage, if you wish.
Thank you for the offer. I shall keep it in mind, but I have much to do here. There is a question I must ask you. Could Lord Redgrave be my maker?
I doubt it. If Lord Redgrave had made you his progeny, he would not have seemed so surprised when you demonstrated the strength of your lineage.
What is the plan?
The plan is we both try to save this city, you and I. Go to Ascalon, accept their proposition, and use their influence to promote your agenda.
How can I save London?
The epidemic is the priority. You must find its origin and put an end to it. This is the best way to solve the crisis.
What will you do?
I still have contacts and old friends in this town. I shall make some inquiries and attempt to learn more of the situation. We need clarity.
One day soon, I will have to find the answer to this mystery.
And I shall help you in your research, I promise. For now, you must go to the Ascalon Club and play their game.
Will I see you again at the Pembroke Hospital?
No, you will find me here if you need me. I shall conduct inquiries alone, and we can then share our discoveries.
When will we meet again?
As soon as you meet Lord Redgrave, I suppose. Fear not, my dear. I shall only be a heart's beat away.
Will you not visit Pembroke again?
No. I must remain discreet and avoid attracting attention to Pembroke Hospital for the time being.
But how will you sustain yourself?
I shall not, Jonathan. Fear not. I'm used to it.
I want to thank you for all your support and your help, my lady.
Could you do me a last great favor and call me Elizabeth?
I should be honored, my lady.
Then it is settled. Finally, some good news in these dark hours.
Thank you. I appreciate the advice. I had best prepare myself to meet this Lord Redgrave now.
How thrilling to meet the Earl of Bristol in the flesh, so to speak.
Something tells me you're not very keen on the man.
Don't get me wrong. The gentlemen of the Ascalon Club are honorable, but their attitude and opinions are somewhat antiquated.
I see.
As long as they deny access to female applicants, I will leave them to their antediluvian considerations as to the natural order of things. Jonathan, promise me you'll be careful.
Of course. But why the fear in your voice?
Look at me, Jonathan.
I am.
I mean, really look at me, young Ekon. We may be deceptive by nature, but this heart of mine has always told the truth.
Elizabeth.
Go, my friend. But come back to me soon.
too much information. معلومات مرة كثيرة بصراحة. أمور راح تصير دراما كثيرة. بس أهم شيء إنه يكون سرفايف الحين، ولازم نلقى مصدر الإبيديميك، مصدر المرض اللي قاعد منتشر الحين. والمرض هذا غير الفامباير، ما له علاقة. طيب الحين راح نتوجه يسار شادو كابينت. يلا بسم الله.
So, time to visit the Ascalon Club.
نروح للنادي. والله شوف السيارة، واو روعة. يقولك لا تعطس، لا مدري ايش، لا تبصق في الارض، لا خوف من انتقال المرض. طيب الباب مقفل.
It's locked.
طيب لوكت. ليش تحبون القروشة انتو؟ يبوني اروح اخذ المسار الابعد. لا تسهل. شغل فاينل ذا. والله 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 والله.
Watch yourselves! He's dead! One of them! Christ, he's dead! Bloody leech!
وش الشخط الأليم كان يشفط مني من بعيد من الذين. مشكلة المقاومة ذول رجستد لهم معاي ولا ضد؟ يعني لو معاي ساعدتهم. ايش فيه هنا؟ 24 صراحة فاضي. تأكد من الطريق بس. اوكي. قدام. وشو ذا؟ 26 أعوذ بالله.
It's locked, all right.
والله أخاف أروح انجلد. كالطراش. معلق ابو الشباب.
That was the vampire I saw earlier. This war takes no prisoners.
كمل طريقك. في حد؟ والله مالي خلق
The West End.
قبل أحد.
Never have I felt so sad to be back home.
أنا قرأت إنه في هيد أوت، قدامي. السالفة يسار. لا ورا. مين هذا؟ 29. يا الله الوضع صعب. القتال راح يكون مرة صعب. ما بقدر عليه. هذا ما ودي اذبحهم صراحة. عمي المسائل بدأت تصعب كلها. كل المسائل بدأت تصعب. ايش الايموجي هذا؟ بنخلص.
The Ascalon Club. The heart of British vampire society. Not quite as subtle as I expected.
اوكي وصلنا عند النادي. خلنا نتعرف على العالم.
Good evening, sir. Please forgive me for disturbing you. I'm a doctor.
I never judge a man by his title, but by his attitude. And you are not disturbing me at all. I am Calhoun Russell, and I welcome you.
Well, I must admit it's good to receive a warm welcome for once. I'm Jonathan Reed.
Welcome, Dr. Reed. Welcome to my humble shop.
How is the situation in this part of town?
Life is good and peaceful. We're lucky to live in such an era of progress and wonders.
Are you not concerned about the epidemic?
Oh, I'm sure the authorities would take the appropriate measure if the danger were that high.
You cannot expect the newspapers to expose the truth while the war is still raging. I can assure you that the situation here is desperate.
Well, that's news then. But I can't believe that things are that bad. Are you sure you're not exaggerating a bit? For the thrill of it?
What can you tell me about this place?
I recently found the best steak and kidney pie in the city. I'd be glad to share the address if you want.
Finding a good restaurant? Is that really all that interests you?
Oh, I have many passions, but nothing brings me ecstasy like subtle and exquisite flavors from my teeth to my belly.
I must confess, I have quite specific tastes when it comes to nutrition.
Really? Well, I'm always happy to try new exotic meals. If you ever find an intriguing table, please share the address.
Okay, hello.
Is it not a little too late to be trading?
On the contrary, it is the perfect hour. Believe me, my friend, it is always at night that you meet the most fascinating characters.
But what about the epidemic? The bombs and raids? And all the random violence?
Please, sir, this is London, England. We will prevail. And if a bomb must fall on my shop, then I'll be there to hear it falling.
So you prefer to work at night?
Oh, I also enjoy a sunny day like everybody else. But the night always has a certain je ne sais quoi of its own.
Do you have any family nearby?
Not since my parents died. I'm London's lone gourmet.
London's lone gourmet? What a strange title.
I used that name in my early years when I was a food critic, and I kept it.
Really? But you seem to be such a pleasant and sociable fellow.
I'm afraid the real hedonist has to be sometimes. I discovered ecstasy as a solitary pleasure, but it does not mean it can't ever be shared.
I may have a look at your goods, Mr. Russell.
والله عنده أغراض. عنده هذا حق الصداع. في قطع الظاهر حقت good handle bars. في قطع حقت تطور فيها المريض ولا أموره تمام. في هيد اوت على اليسار. لا والله ماني بجهته. نكمل سوالف.
Good evening.
نقدر نسولف مع العالم
Oh my God,
أول.
no. Please, Mr. Vampire, don't kill me. Please, no. I'm too young to die. I still have so much to offer this world.
Wait, no. Why do you think I would... What?
Don't worry, Dr. Reed. I know you wouldn't harm me. Mother told me you were in this part of town and might drop by.
Your mother?
My name is Charlotte, sir. Charlotte Ashbury. My mother taught me long ago how to recognize the signs that betray a vampire.
I understand she also taught you how to tease and gently mock innocent young Econs. It's a pleasure to meet you, Miss Charlotte.
هذه بنت هذيك.
What are you doing out here?
You mean, what do I do outside at night since I am a woman? Let me ask you a question, sir. Would you ask the same question of a man?
Actually, yes. I ask the same question to everyone who dares to go outside at night, considering the risks.
Well, if you must know, I campaign for the right to vote for all women. Why should I wait to the age of 30 years when men can vote at 21?
How are the locals reacting to your claims?
People here can't wait for a wall to be built to isolate the West End from the rest of town. That's how progressive they are. If this happens, Emily and I will blow it up.
Explosives are very dangerous, young lady. And who is this Emily?
She is my best friend, and a suffragette too. She was supposed to campaign with me tonight, but hasn't turned up.
Have you any reason to be worried about her?
Recently, Emily started to believe in... well, she got interested in vampires. I'm afraid she might be in trouble.
Let me guess. You spoke to her about us, didn't you? Despite your mother's warning. I think I should try to find your friend.
Oh, that would be top-notch. I can tell you where she might have gone. You have my thanks, Dr. Reed. And please, don't tell my mother.
Are you a suffragette, then? Oh, you really are Elizabeth's girl. Without a doubt.
All adult women have the right to vote in the US, in New Zealand, and in Australia.
but women here can't vote unless they are property owners.
No need to convince me, Miss Charlotte. I have shared your opinion for a long time, even before I met Emmeline Pankhurst.
Really? Oh. Now I see why my mother appreciates you so much. Too bad there aren't more men like you in the vicinity.
What do you think about this part of town?
I was raised here, and I suppose it feels like home. You grew up in this part of town too, did you not?
Is there something that's bothering you?
Too much selfishness and individualism for my taste. Even when there was no epidemic.
Even if that's partly true, may I remind you that many charitable institutions are financed by the selfish and filthy rich?
I suppose you're right. But society must reform and renew itself, or we are all done for.
Yes, I was born a few streets away.
A small world, is it not? Did you ever imagine that my mother was your neighbor all that time? That you could have met her in a dark alley at night?
You won't trick me twice, young lady. We both know Lady Ashbury never hunts or attacks prey at random.
Come on, Doctor. Don't tell me you never thought about that possibility. Her fangs on your neck. Oh, are you blushing, Dr. Reed?
Tell me about your adoption.
What do you want to know?
How did you meet Lady Ashbury?
First, I was an orphan in the institution for girls she manages in the West End. When I was 10, she adopted me, and I have lived with her ever since.
Did you know she was a vampire when she picked you?
The correct word is Ekon, Doctor. And no, I had no idea why my mother only showed up at night. She told me everything when I turned 16, though I suspected the truth for a long time before that.
Who are your real parents?
Elizabeth Ashbury is my real mother. She raised me and has taken care of me all my life. I have no idea who my progenitors are or were.
Do you live with her?
I still spend a lot of time in my mother's mansion, but I have my own house now. I have a life to live, you see. And one day, I'll have my death to face.
What exactly has your mother told you about me?
Your name and profession, obviously, and the mystery about your maker. I'm sorry to hear about what happened to your sister, sir. Mother says it was not your fault.
Does it not scare you to know what I am? What your mother is?
Why should it? My mother is the most compassionate woman. Must I be wary of her, Dr. Reed? Or you?
Of course not. You have nothing to fear from me, or your mother.
Good to know. And don't worry, my mother told me everything I need to know about vampire tricks, their nature as well as features.
Your mother is not like any other vampire I've met.
I believe she thinks the same about you, Dr. Reed.
Do you know why Lady Ashbury chose you to become her daughter?
No, I don't. Each time I ask her that question, she smiles and says it's precisely because I dare to ask such questions.
Do you ever regret that she chose you?
Of course not. Though I often wonder if she adopted others before me. If so, where are they buried? How was it for them to pass through life with a never-aging mother?
Do you need my medical attention, Charlotte?
I am fine, Dr. Reed.
Goodbye, Charlotte. Give my best regards to your mother when you see her.
She's been quite busy these last few nights. I suspect you may see her before me.
Don't let any strangers.
اوكي خلصنا من هذه ان شاء الله.
Have you noticed anything suspicious
نشوف هذا.
Remember, don't. Such a long time.
Good evening, sir. May I have your attention, please?
Come on, Johnny. Don't you recognize your oldest friend?
Clarence. Clarence Crossley. How are you? My God. So you survived the war too. So sorry I didn't recognize you at first.
I almost didn't recognize you either. War does that to men, I heard. In my case, it was true, for
I witnessed the horror that lies underneath.
When did you escape the war and return to London?
You know what's funny? I almost never think about the war. Not anymore. I'm involved in another kind of battle now.
I know what you mean. I haven't had much time to think about the war either since my return.
Of course. With the epidemic, I bet you've been busy as well. Forgive me, Johnny, I didn't want to sound selfish.
What is this new battle?
I saw terrible things during the war. Horrors I thought I'd forget. They're here too. They're everywhere. Vampires.
Oh.
How is your wife, Venus?
We've spent so much time away from each other. And so many things have happened.
Is everything all right at home? Surely Venus was relieved to see you return from France in one piece.
Have you forgot what people are like in this part of town, Johnny? Venus fears for our family reputation. Now her husband has become the village idiot.
But you're alive. You returned in one piece and you have a family. How many soldiers can say the same?
Believe me, it's not quite that simple. Unlike you, I'm not the man I used to be.
You need some rest, Clarence. You should try to sleep.
والله تعال تعبان هذا مدري عندي علاجه.
Good evening, old chap. Are you all right?
I won't lie to you, Johnny. I'm not a well man.
Do you need medical assistance, Clarence?
It's a little late for visiting hours, don't you think?
I will see you later. You need some rest, Clarence. You should try to sleep.
اوكي. هنروح الحين. ايش نبي من هنا؟ نبي ندخل الكلب بس قبل نشوف بعد في احد زيادة. كلها جرايد. الوضع نفس اللي قبل شوي صار. هذا الهيد اوت. طيب قبل نروح الهيد اوت هنشوف الكلاب. نشوف شو عندهم. كمورة فورميشن. اتوقع في جارية جاية ما ادري ليه. أظهر البيست الذي بداخلك. فاني.
Do you know where you are standing right now?
In front of the Ascalon Club, I presume.
The Ascalon Club only summons or ostracizes. What is your business tonight?
I received an invitation. I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed.
Welcome to the Ascalon Club, then, Dr. Reed. Please proceed. Lord Redgrave is waiting on you upstairs.
وش النادي المضروب؟ طبعا لازم شغل التفتش. نادي دموي ذا.
There has been quite a battle here. I'm sure the Ascalon Club has the money to replace the furniture.
ستوري بروبوز اوف اسكالون كلوب. اوكي نشوفها بعدين. هذه غرفة. وين راح هذاك؟ تركناه يمشي. هذا سمع شوي.
Welcome to the Ascalon Club, then, Dr. Reed.
وش صاير هنا؟ نتف. تبقى فوق. عادي بيت ما هو بيتك طير منه خذ راحتك. ما في الا قوة نتف. ها أدوية أغراض. وش ذي؟ ما في شيء ثاني. وصلنا عندهم صادونا كاتسين.
Good evening.
وين الأرض؟
My good friends, if I may have your attention.
Hello.
Behold our visitor, the good Dr. Reed. Newborn of blood so pure and strong that even my friend Fergal Bansher was no match for him.
Here, here, here.
Come forward, young
قالت
Econ,
لازم أدخل
for we
كلاب
have so much to discuss.
أكسب ثقتهم. أكسب ثقة الناس اللي في
Welcome to the Ascalon Club, Dr.
عشان أقلب
Reed.
عليهم بعدين.
I am Lord Redgrave, Earl of Bristol and chairman of this exclusive association.
Lord Redgrave.
At last we meet. I've been eager to make your acquaintance. I've heard some astounding things about you.
الخضوع ما هو حلو. بس يلا كله عشانها.
Please accept my condolences for your loss, Dr. Reed.
Thank you, my lord. Lady Ashbury expressed your wish to meet me.
Yes. The lady has always been a useful acquaintance, though not always reliable. Is she a good friend of yours?
Yes.
She's a close friend, and I'm honored that she feels the same about me.
The centuries have taught me never to trust a woman completely, especially if she is a mortal. Too prone to emotions, if you ask me. Too fickle when it comes to important decisions.
My lord, do not expect me to speak ill of Lady Ashbury.
Of course not, and I praise your loyalty. Would you offer the same fidelity to the Empire?
What do you mean?
I speak of the Skull Plague that threatens London and the country. You have been on the front line in the East End, but the time has come to open up a second front here.
The epidemic has escaped the quarantine. You have new cases of the outbreak.
We don't know for certain, but we cannot allow the disease to threaten the prominent heads of Great Britain.
Why have you asked me here?
Because the crisis is escalating. Our enemies, the Guard of Priwen, have even launched an open hunt. The only way to calm things down is to put an end to the epidemic.
You want me to find possible sources of the outbreak in the West End? Is that it?
Ah, straight to the point, like all eager newborns. We shall have time to talk about all this, Dr. Reed, but first, I should like to get to know you better.
Talk? Is that the only reason you asked me here?
Well, no. I also wanted to meet the intriguing Ekon who made such a powerful progeny of his sister. You have not learned the name of your maker, am I correct?
Oof.
No, I haven't.
Have no embarrassment, Dr. Reed. We all make mistakes. But whatever your lineage, you are definitely Ascalon material.
What do you mean?
I would like you to become a member of the Ascalon Club, and to serve me as such.
Before I accept, I have so many questions.
Please ask.
What does it mean to be a member of the Ascalon Club?
It means that you swear to protect the interests of the Crown, that you become a loyal servant of the British Empire.
Do you have any official recognition from the government? A charter from His Majesty the King?
No. Of course, the Ascalon Club publicly supports the Empire, but the true nature of its members remains a secret.
Am I supposed to follow orders?
As founder and chairman of the club, I alone am entitled to make demands of our members, and I do appreciate obedience.
What is the Ascalon Club's express purpose?
We follow the credo of William Marshall, the greatest knight who ever lived. As was he, we are sworn to protect the British Empire.
William Marshall founded the Ascalon Club.
Not exactly. William Marshall granted me immortality, and I founded the club a few years later. The good knight has been gone for so long.
What does Ascalon mean?
Ascalon was the lance wielded by St. George, glorious patron saint of England when he slew the dragon. And like that lance, we pierce the hearts of all our nation's enemies.
I killed Fergal, who claimed to be one of yours, sent to cleanse the East End of all Skulls. Will his death be an issue?
Do not worry. My priorities have changed. Fergal was a zealous servant of mine, but like any servant, he had his limitations and is readily replaced if necessary.
I agree to join the club.
This is good news. Good news indeed in these crucial times. Let's inform the Assembly formally and proceed with your initiation.
My initiation?
Fear not. Nothing fancy nor dangerous. It is just that we, the members of Ascalon, believe that tradition and custom are the backbone of this country. My fellow members, dear friends, please gather and welcome this Ekon as one of our own.
Is he worthy? Is his blood pure?
Well, speak, Dr. Reed, in front of the most sacred blood. The blood of our beloved William Marshall, speak now. Will you serve and protect the crown as he did?
Yes, I will.
Then, young Ekon, it is time to testify with your blood. It is time to sign the Book of Allegiance. I know it's awfully gothic and a tad pedantic, but England's traditions are the backbone of our nation.
خلاص توهق.
Delightful. Welcome to the Ascalon Club, Dr. Reed.
أحس إن
Take your place among the bearers of the lance.
أحس إنه تورط بشيء كبير. بس يلا خلنا نمشي معاه. نشوف هذا أول شيء.
I personally went.
Good evening, Dr.
خلينا واحد
Reed.
واحد.
How does it feel to be this evening's centerpiece? Figuratively.
I feel perfectly fine. Do I have cause for concern?
Do not be alarmed. The Ascalon Club has a tried and tested policy for choosing its initiates.
May I ask who you are, sir?
Why would you be interested?
Well, as you seem to be the only man in the room with a beating heart, you draw quite a bit of attention yourself.
Ah, vampire senses never cease to fascinate me. They dwarf those of mere mortals. I am Aloysius Dawson, by the way.
Are you a member of the club?
Yes, I am. And I have been for many years. And will be until the day I die.
What can you tell me about it?
It's not really my place to give you such information. I am merely a mortal member, and a dying one at that.
Are you sick?
Personally, I consider my advancing years are a sickness in itself. My body is slowly abandoning me, Dr. Reed.
Are you not afraid? You are surrounded by vampires.
Sir, it's for that very reason that I joined the club in the first place.
عشان يحمونا.
Is not the nature of this club a secret shared by only a privileged few?
My dear Dr. Reed, I have spent years and a fortune precisely to gather that kind of information.
So you asked for membership?
I have been a member of many clubs in many countries. But I must admit, this one is my favorite.
What can you tell me about Lord Redgrave?
I would not dare speak of our chairman without his consent.
Mr. Dawson, of Dawson and Dawson, the wealthiest man in England. It is a pleasure to meet such a prominent figure of London.
A withering London figurehead, to be precise.
Are you sick, Mr. Dawson? I am a doctor, you know.
My case is beyond the scope of traditional medicine. I have spent fortunes on the world's most competent doctors to arrive at that diagnostic conclusion.
I'm sorry to hear that, sir. Should I suppose that you're here in search of some form of immortality?
Absolutely not. I'm here to implement my plan to save the city I was born in. To cast out the ghastly evil that has us all on our knees.
What is the situation like in this part of town?
I am sure Lord Redgrave will enlighten you more effectively than I.
Money cannot solve every problem. This mysterious epidemic is going to require more than money can buy.
You're right. Money is nothing unless one has the will to wield it. I have a plan, sir. A radical one that will save all that is essential in London.
What is your plan, then?
Quarantine and barricades are futile. What we need is a wall. A formidable, unscalable wall to isolate the deserving from the infected masses.
Complete isolation has proven effective throughout history, but the death toll has always been a high one.
I am glad you understand the concept of necessary sacrifice.
Are you not mistaking sacrifice for summary execution?
Why do you care? Are you not a vampire? Removed from all mortal concerns? Decisiveness is what the city needs, and it needs it now.
وحوش. اوه وش ذا؟ خنجر. انا ما فتش زين قبل شوي فودي استغل الوضع بس.
Inside the club since we were attacked. I must admit the guard of Pre-Wen impressed me. They must have spent years preparing
عموما
their
ما
plan.
كلمة في شيء هنا ناخذه. هنشوف وش السالفة.
That went well, did it not? It is always useful to bolster the troops' morale, especially before a difficult battle.
You have the makings of a general, my lord.
I was, though very long ago, well, not quite a general, but a proud defender of the crown.
So why did you really want to meet me?
Straight to the point again, young Ekon. All right, let's talk, you and I, Lance Sparrow.
I'm listening, my lord.
According to my spies, you have worked with Dr. Edgar Swansea on the epidemic, and your findings were quite alarming.
Do you know Edgar Swansea?
Not personally, but I've been told he has some sort of immortal fetish and is a good friend of yours.
Does it bother you that I consider him my good friend?
As long as you reveal nothing of the club's inner workings, why should I forbid you engaging in conversation with the good Dr. Swansea?
حلو.
You were spying on me?
Not personally. I rarely leave this building. But once he found you, Fergal kept me informed. Until you put an end to his mission.
Who was Fergal? I don't see him sipping tea with the others in the club.
Fergal Banshar was my squire of sorts. Even before becoming that magnificent beast, he was a brute. He served me well for decades.
No, I mean, what was he? He was clearly no ordinary vampire.
No, he was a Volcod. All muscles and instinct. Quite the rare breed. Ferociously territorial. Mortals often mistake them for werewolves.
You do know I killed him?
Yes.
Will you bear ill will towards me for his death?
Of course not. Your victory was quite impressive and courageous. You earned my respect.
Yes, I'm convinced the recent invasion of frenzied Skulls in London is directly linked to the epidemic. This is not the Spanish flu, but something else.
I would be glad to hear more of your discoveries, Dr. Reed, but for now, my main concern is the security of London's inhabitants, both mortal and immortal.
What do you mean?
Alarmed by the epidemic, the Guard of Pre-Wen has started a war against us British vampires. To appease the situation, we must eradicate the Skulls.
Skulls are hostile vectors of contagion. That is a fact. But first and foremost, they are victims.
I agree, Dr. Reed. Most of the new Skulls who roam the streets at night used to be good British citizens. But they must be put down nevertheless.
So, what do you want me to do?
I want you to investigate the city thoroughly. I have reason to fear there are cases of contagion in this part of town. Our absolute priority is to find and cleanse them.
And how would you like me to proceed?
By all means necessary, Dr. Reed. You are now a member of the Ascalon Club and you have carte blanche. Interrogate the locals, follow all the leads you find, and get results.
ليفل 20 يا ساتر. عموما هنشوف لنا هيد اوت عشان نقدر يعني لازم نبحث اصلا كذا لازم نبحث في المدينة. نوقف على الهيد اوت نطور انفسنا شوي بعدين نوقف. انا كني شايف باب تحت صح؟ نشوف باب حق ايش وين يودي هالباب؟ اذا يطلعنا برا ولا اوكي طلعنا برا. نايس. حديقة الخلفية.
I think Lord Redgrave just suggested I was sired by an ancient vampire.
ترى زين صح؟ أو هذا ريد مانشن. مين هذا؟
Good evening, Avery.
Mr. Jonathan? I can't believe my own eyes. Oh, it's a miracle. We all thought you were... Oh, sir, your poor sister.
هذا بيته.
What a tragedy.
I know, Avery. I know about my sister's murder.
Miss Reed expected you to return to assist with the funeral.
صدفة
Right
ولا
up until the
إيش؟
last minute. Where have you been, Mr. Jonathan? We needed you here.
يا ساتر.
I'm currently investigating sources of the epidemic in this part of town. Do you know anything useful?
Not really, except all the MacPherson's servants resigned a few days ago. They feared becoming infected, they said.
The MacPhersons? Where do they live?
I think it's a rich house near the railway bridge in the southern part of the district.
How is my mother?
Not well, I'm afraid, sir. Miss Reed is very fragile since the police brought her back home.
The police? What happened?
Miss Reed was found walking in the streets. She kept saying she had spoken with her son and daughter. She's resting now.
اوكي الأم موجودة.
Do you need medical attention, Avery?
Thank you, but I'm all right, sir.
ما أبغى أطولها.
Goodbye,
برجع له
Avery.
بعدين
Please
وأسولف
watch
عشان
over my
أبغى
mother
أسولف.
until I return.
Of course, Mr. Jonathan. But please return as soon as possible.
والله بالصدفة دخلنا لقينا شو اسمه البيت حق الدكتور قاعد ينظف مساكين. اطلع فوق. We need a bed. هذه غرفة أمه أكيد. هذه أمه؟ والله ما أبغى أسولف. أبي أسوي سيف أول بعدين إذا طلعت سولفت معها على راحتها يعني على قولتهم. صح؟ خلنا مفتاح ما أدري إيش مفتاحه. فلوس. إيش عندنا هنا؟ حق الصندوق حق في هنريح بس من التعب. نبغى نطور. وش عندنا الشيء اللي نطوره؟ خل نركز على الدرع. احنا عندنا طريقين هنا كل واحد ب2000. خلني ارفع الدم لان الوضع صار صعب. الوضع صار صعب، كل ما لا يصعب. خلنا نرفع فيزيكال. والدم كاباسيتي كم يبي هنا؟ 30%. لا الدمج راح يفرق. الدمج راح يفرق هنا. اوكي اتوقع نايس. نسوي له كونفيرم. وصلنا عليها ليفل 20. ايش اللي صار؟ لا تقول لي احد مات ولا مرض. ايه زاد مرض هذا. اوكي تعالجوا الحمد لله. مستوى الهيلث زاد. هذه ايش؟ هاب امباكت ايكونومي. حلو الايكونومي زاد. هنا في 2 لازم اعالجهم بعدين. هنا وش صار؟ اوكي تعالجت هذه. حلو. هنا انسى الموضوع. طيب شيء طيب يعني ان بعض الافعال anyway الله يعطيكم العافية. اتوقع هنا وصلنا نهاية البث. وقت عشان ما يكون طويل مرة المشاهد. نشوفكم لاحقا ان شاء الله. يعطيكم العافية على المتابعة. شكرا لكم.